when I look like this, I'm like, how do I not have a boyfriend? But then I look at me and I'm like, of course I don't have a boyfriend. Not everyone can handle a bad bitch. But like, maybe I'll kiss a boy tonight. Who knows? That's not gonna happen.
And gentlemen, I'm hoping you guys can help me settle something and we can put the rumors to rest once and for all. Let me ask you something. Do men ever not pursue a woman because they are intimidated by her? Do men ever not pursue a woman because they're just too scared of how much they're gonna fall in love with her? We have been fed this tale that if a man is not pursuing you and a man is not making plans with you, that's probably because he's intimidated by you. He's intimidated by your success. He's intimidated by your beauty. He's intimidated by how fancy of a lifestyle you have. And I'm just curious, is any of that true? Is any of that true? When I think what it is that women are just too scared to admit that he's just not that into you and that he just doesn't like us very much. So we try to make ourselves feel better, so we tell ourselves this little lie. But I think we sound like fucking idiots.
If you are a guy and you cannot get a girlfriend and you want one, I am telling you this is the one thing you're doing wrong. And it came up again last night at dinner and it reminded me. If you are not making the plans, organizing, telling the woman where you're going, not asking, telling, hey, 7 p.m. on a Friday, are you free? Not middle of the night, that's a booty call. It's fine if you want to do that, but that's not going to get you a girlfriend. You literally need to make it like, are you available at 7 p.m.? I've booked a reservation, let's go here. Hi, I had a great time seeing you. I would love to see you again. Are you available for 8 p.m. on Tuesday? I'm going to book this restaurant. You're allowed to ask questions like, what type of food do you like? But don't be like, where should we go? Just do it. Just do the whole thing. Make it easy. That's going to get you a girlfriend.
I genuinely don't understand the men that complain that dating women is so hard because women's standards are somehow like really high right now and that they can never meet that. Because more often than not, at least in my experiences and other people that I know, it's always been like the complete opposite. Like most women's standards are like in the sewer. Like it's awful. And at least for me, it wasn't until last year that I went on a date where on the first date, the guy offered to pay for it and pick me up and make reservations. That had never happened to me in like my years of dating until last year. Never. I had someone offer to buy a book for me on a date. Wasn't expecting him to offer that at all because I had never had that happen to me before. And I almost started crying because I never had anybody do that. Not even my boyfriends. I just don't understand why men think that women have insanely high standards when the vast majority of women will be over the moon if you just do incredibly basic kind things like opening the door for them or offering to pay or to pick them up or showing up with flowers. Like, so many women have never had that done before.
Besides the fact that I am a girl, and if you've got these two things, mate, you got me. Hook, line, and sinker. Number one is height. Now, I know that some of you guys that are ugly can't help the fact that you're also short kings. I don't know what it is. I actually don't understand the science behind the fact that as soon as you are 6 foot or taller, you're attractive. I don't know. Okay, but let's just say that you're ugly and you're short. Okay, what do we do here? You can still pull. You know how you pull? You be funny. If you are funny. And the frustrating thing about this is that you can be a girl. You can be an ugly girl. You can be a short, tall girl. You can be whatever girl and ugly. But if you're funny, it doesn't help your situation. It doesn't help, unfortunately. But if you're a guy and you're short and you're ugly and you're funny, mate.
You know what's crazy? I have so many friends who are genuinely such nice girls. Like, they are so good looking, mashallah, on the educated, respectful, family girls, everything. They know how to cook, everything you can possibly think of, right? Just a few combinations of different things. And they are still single and they're unmarried. And it blows my mind because the good girls to good guys ratio in this day and age is absolutely diabolical. And the funniest thing is that when you ask a man, like if you ask a guy, like, you know, do you have any friends that you would let your sister marry? They're like, nah, I know too much about him. You ask me if I've got any single friends, I'd be happy to let my brother marry if I had any brothers who were single and good candidates. Like, I would I will be like any of my friends, because they are lovely girls. I am happy for you to literally marry any of my single friends.
I have a question for the guys, and I might be setting myself up for failure here, but I would like to try to do this. But if you are a man who is single and dating on dating apps, dating women, what is your experience? Because there's so much discourse that I am a part of online and in real life about within dating, the ways that men are showing themselves to be deficient or lacking when it comes to dating or relationships. I'm wondering what it looks like on the other side. If you're a man who meets a woman and goes on multiple dates with her, what is something that causes you to lose interest, you to pull away, you to be avoidant? Because there's this huge gap and divide between men and women and dating right now. So if there's a way to answer this in like a non-sexist way, I'd really love to know just what your perspective and experience is.
She's a whore.
She is basically telling men that the secret to getting a girlfriend is acting like her personal event planner. In her mind, masculinity now means being a free concierge who books restaurants, schedules her calendar, and sends reminders like she's checking into a dentist appointment. She wants a man who treats date night like a military operation. Tuesday, 2000 hours, Italian, your attendance is mandatory. Meanwhile, if a man ever said 7 p.m. Friday, I'll pick you up, she'd call him controlling, toxic, and emotionally unsafe on TikTok. She is basically saying, make all the decisions for me. Unless I don't like the decisions, then you're a manipulative narcissist.
They're lost.
Women keep saying their standards are low, but what they actually mean is their emotional standards are low, but never their physical standards. If an unattractive guy bought her that book, she wouldn't blink. If he held the door, she'd barely notice. But when a tall, good-looking man does it, suddenly it's meaningful. Suddenly she's in tears. She's not moved by the gesture, she's moved by who is doing it. She's basically admitting every Chad has treated her so badly that at this point, she'll celebrate the bare minimum just to feel noticed. But if an unattractive short guy did it, she wouldn't care. That's not low standards. That's desperation for Chad Roan's attention.
No question about that.
She's basically admitting the whole game is rigged. If he's tall, he's attractive. If he's short, he'd better turn into Kevin Hart with a punchline every 5 seconds. Suddenly, comedy is a survival skill. She's out here acting like height is a personality trait and humour is a disability benefit. Humour is the equivalent to food stamps, and height is the equivalent to being a millionaire, and men are just supposed to nod along like this all makes sense.
It's ridiculous.
What she's really missing is that women hype each other up way more than they show up for men. Of course she thinks her friends are perfect. They treat each other like queens and treat men like employees with impossible job requirements. She's asking, why won't men marry my friends? Easy. The double standards, the expectations, the entitlement her friends put onto men, and men see it instantly. If her friends were truly wife material, they wouldn't all be 28 plus in the group chat wondering why no man commits to them. And when a man says he wouldn't want his particular friend to not be in a relationship with a woman, that's because men are honest enough to tell the truth. They don't overhype and lie about how great their friends are if they're clearly not.
True dat.
Real men of genius.